Now, what we're going to do, we've talked pretty extensively about three-way calls, this prospecting process. What we're going to do now is we're going to have the next presentation talk about how to do a one-on-one and how to do a two-on-one, kind of a sit-down presentation. And to do that, we've got a group of people that are going to help do that. They're from three different states, brothers from Utah, Southern California, and Texas.
I don't know, 10,000 people here, it's just crazy. 3.5 years ago, I was waiting tables at Chili's, selling hamburgers and baby back ribs, you know, singing the song, I want my baby back, baby back, baby back. I'm just delighted to be here, it's just incredible. All these individuals, my mentors up here in the front rows, incredible team. You know, I started my business 3.5 years ago in Fort Worth, Texas. Texas representing. I got sick of being number 2, so I moved to California so I could be number 1. Now everything's been great in California. The only bad thing is that I miss my family. Some of you have heard this. We got everybody in prepaid legal. My whole family. We're kind of like my parents were like Mark Rich's, like Mark Rich. You know, they didn't have a television, so they just made babies. You know, so my dad's in the house today. I love you, Dad. And so they had 6 of us kids. And before prepaid legal, I just thank God for prepaid legal, because before we got here, we had, in our family, we had 3 bankruptcies and 6 just financial disasters in our family. And since 3.5 years ago, since we came into prepaid legal services, now we have 3 ring earners and 6 executive directors. So, you know, we've kept it simple. We build teams, we build family. We love our team, we love our family. And we've just done it with one-on-ones and two-on-ones and belly to belly and just building those relationships. And that's what we're here to talk about. And I'm not going to take any more time today because there are 2 of those 6. There's 6 of us, my 5 siblings and myself. 2 of them have reached the level of Platinum Executive Director. Help me welcome to the stage my big brothers, Tony and Jeff Hughes.
Excited to be here. Anybody else excited to be here? We have a confession to make. This is our first time to be on the stage training today. So, slack if we don't do so great, all right? We think we've got a great training for you. Eric took us aside at the ED banquet and he said, no pressure, you guys, but the whole convention rests on your presentation. Jeff, I kind of freaked out. I don't know about you, but anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to start off today talking about how to do an effective one-on-one. And I got to tell you, I don't think there's a greater story in prepaid legal than the one-on-one presentation that was done with my little brother, Jeff Hughes. And I'm going to just turn the time over to him to let him tell you about how he was introduced to prepaid legal. Jeff?
All right. Is it working? All right. Yeah. My background prior to prepaid legal, guys, since I was 15 years old, was in retail sales. I was a ladies' shoe salesman for about 15 years. About 10 years of that, I had a very loyal customer who came in about every month and bought 2 pair of shoes from me. And she came in one day and she said, hey, I want to feed you lunch. I got something I want to show you. It takes about 15 minutes and you may or may not be interested, but if you're hungry, I'm feeding you. Well, I was broke, hungry, and I figured I didn't have to buy whatever she was selling. I just eat her food. She took me to lunch. She did, guys, the exact perfect presentation, exactly what you want to do. We sat down, we talked a little bit about, you know, life. She pulled out a placemat brochure, She read what was on there. She told me a couple of stories about how she used her membership, how much she liked it. I had 2 questions. She answered them yes. I said, well, I think I'm going to get this. And she said, well, of course you're going to get this. You need to think about marketing it. She sent me back to work with a CD-ROM. She made an appointment to pick myself and my wife up to attend a business briefing in Dallas that Patrick Shaw did. He did an awesome job. We love what we saw. We love what we learned. And she sent us home that night with a videotape. That old, what was it called?
Now is the Time.
Now is the Time, which was awful, but it worked. Took it to my brother's house. We didn't know anything about anything. I wasn't an associate. I just said, my wife said, you know guys, we have something we want to show you. It takes about 15 minutes and you may or may not be interested. We found the play button and we were in business, okay? Put the video in. When it got done, they said, wow, we're in. Next week we showed up at the meeting. Judy had 9 guests that night. I thought she was a goddess. We all signed up, did our paperwork that night, and that's how it went. We all took videos home and began doing exactly what Judy Gard did for us. So if I'd say, you know, how do we build our business? How many of you guys eat lunch? How many of you guys could take somebody to lunch? Can you point? Can you read? Can you tell stories? Could you answer a couple of questions? Could you invite them to a briefing? Could you pick them up? Could you take them? Could you send them home with a videotape to expose their warm market? I think the answer is yes. And I think that's what we need to be about in prepaid legal. We make this too complicated, too sophisticated. It is a very easy system. Let me tell you what's happening. That 1 hour of her life and 1 meal has brought Judy Garton today over between 6,000 and 7,000 associates in 3.5 years and 30,000 memberships. Let me ask you the question, was it a good return on her investment? Word up, okay?
Word up.
I'm going to turn it over now to Tony, because he's got some training that he wants to do on the 2-on-1. That's the 1-on-1, and I don't think you need any more training than that, agreed?
Yeah.
Tony's going to tell you how to do the 2-on-1, because all you guys that are up there in the nosebleeds, that's where we were. We just kept moving down. My goal was to eventually sit on the front row with the Amelia brothers. I told them last time at an event, I says, you helped me cross off one of my goals, thank you very much. You guys just keep moving down to the front. And for those of you who don't have a network marketing background, you've never done this before, the story behind the story with Jeff Hughes is Judy Garton took me to lunch, and that's all I knew, all right? So you can do it because this system is made for you and me. If you got network marketing experience, we're going to talk about a guy, that'll work too. But if all you know is just your little warm market, and you can find the play button, you can do the business. Now, Tony, do the 2-on-1.
Is that a great story or what? Judy, wherever you are, we love you, we love you, we love you.
Woo!
Totally changed our family's destiny. 1-on-1, changing the destiny of a family. I love that. Isn't it awesome? Hey, you guys, we've done something kind of fun. We put together, you know, Eric told us we need to do a 2-on-1 training, so we put together a little videotape to help you guys kind of see maybe one way you could do a 2-on-1 presentation. So if the guys are listening, they can roll the tape.
Why don't you, since you know a little bit about my story, why don't
platinum executive. You know, he's a high roller. I went to that's why I wanted you to introduce each other. That way you guys, you know, show her how to make the money. Show her the real money. He owns Texas. You know, Bush is nothing compared to this guy right here.
I don't know. I guess we'll get into it. I appreciate that.
Hey man, let me have a beer. I'm nervous. Give me 3 of them.
I'm on my lunch hour and I've already missed like half of it, so can
It's okay, Marcia. It's okay. Change your lap around. You just wait and see.
All right, well, Marsh, I know in the interest of time, I'm going to tell you just a little bit. Do you know anything about prepaid legal? Have you looked at any videos or CDs or anything?
Hey, just skip all that, Jeff. Just tell her how to make the money. Tell her, $26.
So is this like a pyramid?
Yeah, that's like a pyramid, exactly.
Marsh, it's nice to meet you. My name is Jeff Hughes.
He's platinum.
I've been with the company about 3.5 years.
That's like a god. He's like a god.
Marsh, I'll tell you a little bit of our company, Prepaid Legal, is a New York Stock Exchange company.
Hey, just skip all that. Just tell her what to do.
Well, Marsh,
Stick to that. I'll go ahead and you got your $26? We'll sign you up right there on the spot.
hold on a second. Marsh, it's crazy. I'd like to tell you about the product that we offer and tell you kind of how it works.
She don't need to know that. All she gotta do is fix his teeth. $26, it's all in the bag. It's all free. Just sign up.
Marcia, when we started, we focused a lot on building a team.
Marcia, we're under him. See, they're here, we're gonna be right here. We're all under him. But we're gonna make him rich.
Marcia, I know we're you gotta go. We're running out of time. I'm tell you, it's real
Jesse, all that. Tell him about the plan. Tell him how much you show him your last picture.
That's what I was gonna try to do, is to take you through how the conversation went.
Tell him right now before she goes. You don't want to get her right now.
Okay, this is the way the conversation
Show him either money, Jeff. Show him her money.
He's so excited. I love it.
Oh, hey, not no nickels and dimes though. Just show him the.
All right, if you'll let me do this, I'll do that, all right? Okay, it's going to start off, we're going to pay
Jeff, get it on sale, man. Come on.
70 or show you check.
Hey, what's the score? Lakers up? Yeah? Cool. Hey, so Marcia, are you in?
Guys, I'm really sorry, but I have an hour for lunch and it has been interesting.
Wait, hold on, Marcia.
But I'm really not
Marcia,
interested because
you don't-
okay, I really have to.
All right, bye.
Hey, Marcia, wait, hold on.
Hey, Oscar, don't, hey.
Hey, man, you still crack.
Sometimes it can go wrong. We had a situation that came up in an organization just recently. We had a gentleman in the network marketing industry who's made millions of dollars. In fact, that was about $13 million in the industry. His company left him. He was looking for a home. We had a guy in our team that was working with him but doing everything wrong. Wasn't using two-on-ones, giving way too many facts. Tony finally said, please let me talk to the guy, gets on it, and we actually had him come and we have his story on tape for you and let him show you how to do a proper two-on-one. So let's roll that one.
Hey, Jer, how you doing?
Good. Come on into the house at the network marketing building.
All right, great. Let's do it.
Go on, Hi, my name is J.R. Jackson from Highland. I'm Director of Prepaid Legal, Executive Director. I've been with the company for about 5 or 6 months. I was introduced to the company from a young man who came into one of my businesses here locally, and I told him no on several occasions. His father called me on several occasions, and I told him also no. I found myself on a three-way call with John one day, and he was spewing out all kinds of facts and figures about prepaid, and again I told him no, and he handed the phone over to Mr. Tony Hughes, and Tony kind of stroked my ego and was telling me he'd heard a lot of good things about me and would like to take me to lunch, and so I met him for lunch the following afternoon and found myself joining prepaid about 3 hours later and signing up EP my first day, and I'm actually proud to say that I'm actually in the audience this afternoon.
All right. Woo! By the way, that young man, Oscar, who is in the videotape, I want you guys to know that he and his wife sacrificed to be here at this convention. They've been in the business for about 3.5 weeks, just made manager about 3 days ago, sold 13 person memberships in 3 weeks. It's awesome, man. Right, we're actually going to get into what we did to get Mr. Jackson in the business, how we do two-on-one presentations. So if you're taking notes, this might be a good time to pick up your pen. The screen up there, can we see the, can we see it up there yet? All right, how to do an effective sit-down, two-on-one presentation. We're going to go through these pretty quickly. So first of all, just be on time. You know, when you're meeting with your prospect, you ought to be there on time. If you're going to meet them at a restaurant, which is exactly what we did with Mr. Jackson, I got him on the phone. I asked him, can you just at least come to lunch with me tomorrow? And, you know, so he said yes. And so, you know, you want to get there early, be there before the guest gets there, obviously. Number 2 thing, dress appropriately. When we say appropriately, a good definition of appropriate is at their level or just a little bit above. If they're going to come in some blue dickies with their name on a shirt, you probably don't want to wear a 3-piece suit, right? You don't want to overpower them or over-intimidate them. So dress appropriately. Edify the expert. Whoever that person is that's trying to sponsor that person should take just a minute or so and do a proper edification. Obviously, that's something that needs to be coached prior to the two-on-one. You know, here's what I want you to say, here's how I want you to say it. It's very important that you say it just this way. Now, who is that expert? It could be a director that's been in the business for a while. It could be certainly an executive director, but someone that really knows a little bit about what they're doing. You certainly want, if you got a guy of this nature, of course you're going to want someone that's an expert. But proper edification is certainly very, very important. Turn the time over to that person and then pull out the duct tape and put it on your mouth. Right, guys? Oscar got a little bit too involved in that two-on-one presentation. All right. Next thing is just break the ice. You know, my whole life has been in sales and marketing, and one of the things that you know they teach you in sales schools is rapport building, relationship building. It's no different in network marketing. That's what we're doing. And so what we recommend is that if you're going to be the expert, you're doing that presentation, go ahead and eat before you meet with them. If you're meeting at a restaurant, if you're meeting at their home, no problem. But certainly a restaurant, go ahead and eat. Let the person that's sponsoring that person and the guest go ahead and eat while you're talking. That way you don't have to sit there and wait for you to finish up your meal before you start getting in the presentation, because a lot of these things need to be done in about 45 minutes to an hour. Build rapport, build relationship, ask questions to find out what their hot buttons are. I love asking the question, so do you really like your job? JR and I, in fact, met with a gentleman here just recently that that does about $300,000 a year in income. He's a high roller. He's in the media business. And you know, one of the things I just love to ask them is, do you have time freedom? Because obviously he had a lot of money, but he had zero time. So find out what the hot buttons are in your rapport relationship building process. That way you can hit those hot buttons as you're going through the presentation. Avoid using industry lingo. What do we mean by that? Things like area coordinator. This is our area coordinator. Always put yourself in the mind of the prospect. What are they thinking when you say those things? Do they really know what an area coordinator is or what they do? Absolutely not. So we don't want to say things like area coordinator or upline. Again, that's jargon. That's common to us in our industry, but it may not be common to them. So we want to avoid that. The business partner, the expert, the executive with our company, something like that. You want to avoid using upline. This is our multi-level marketing guru. You certainly don't want to use that. Leave that right out of your, out of your edification for sure. Yeah, or God, right? God is. You own Texas, right, Jen? And then point, read, tell, or introduce. I mean, that's really what the expert's all about. When I do a presentation at 2-on-1, I would guess that probably 80% of the 2-on-1s that I do, I actually filter in a 3-way call. In fact, let me give my dad a call. Let me call my brother. Let me introduce you to one of the experts in our business. And so just using that 3-way call also compounds. Even though I'm the expert, I'm involving other experts in the process. Point something, read something, tell a story, or introduce somebody. And again, this would be while the prospect is eating, so they can enjoy the lunch and you can sit there and talk. Use third-party tools. This is absolutely critical. I love what Eric Worre says. 2 facts about prepaid legal you should all remember. Number 1, we're not allowed to give any facts about this company. Number 2, if our mouth is moving, we should either be reading, pointing, introducing, or telling a story. And that's exactly what the expert's job is to do. Even though, someone in our position knows pretty much everything there is to know about this company, we're always referring to third party, a brochure, things like that. Let's get into that, in fact. All right, what kind of third parties are good? Now again, we're talking about a luncheon today, 2-on-1 at a restaurant, so we're going to go through some of the things that would be good to use at a luncheon. First of all, is that new membership brochure awesome or what? How many of you have read that? That thing is so cool. It goes through all the objections, little places where you can put, the money that they're spending on health insurance, life insurance, how much they're going to spend on prepaid legal. It's just powerful. We're going to be using that brochure in our 2-on-1s. PPL Today flyer, that's a great flyer. 1 page, front and back. You can laminate that little flyer and use it for a third party. Again, an excellent tool to use in a 2-on-1. Placemat brochure. Let's not get away from what always has worked, right? That little placemat brochure has sold tens, if not hundreds of thousands of memberships. A flip chart. Profiles of Success. I mean, is that a powerful book? How many of you bought Profiles of Success, the new one? If you haven't purchased it yet, do yourself a favor and go get one, because that's one of the most powerful tools that we have, because you can find stories in there that people can relate to. Look at this person. They did just what you did a couple years ago, and now they're a platinum executive director, 6-figure ring earner in our company. Magazine reprint slicks, again, another great third-party piece that you can use. The 3-way cell phone call, these are all great things. Now, if you're meeting in someone's home, a videotape, equal access videotape, a great tool, a CD-ROM. Why don't we say bring a laptop? I hear people say that from time to time. I'm going to bring my laptop and dazzle them with our new DVD. No, you're not going to do that, because that's absolutely 100% not duplicatable. And in this business, you want to be duplicatable. Lowest common denominator. If my mom can't do it, ain't nobody can do it. All right? That's my rule of thumb. Use 5-question close. We've all been taught this unless you're new. We're going to go through these real quick as an expert. Do you see an opportunity with us? After you've gone through the brochures, the flip chart, that sort of thing, do you see an opportunity with us? How much money would you need to make on a part-time basis if you were to come on board with us? Third question, how many hours would you put into your business if you were going to work this business on a part-time basis? Fourth question, how many months could you really commit to this business if you're going to get in part-time to achieve those goals? And then the final question, kind of the closing question, if we could show you a way to make that kind of money working that many hours over the next so many months, is there anything else you need to know before we get you started on our team? That's the closing question. And if they say, yeah, I need to know about this, this, and this, fine, write those down, answer those questions, and then go right back to the 5th question. If we can show you how to, now that we've answered your questions, if we can show you, how to make that kind of money in this amount of time, is there anything else you need to know before we start you today on our team or get you started? And if they say no, say, great, let's go ahead and get the paperwork filled out. And that would be probably one of the most critical things is make sure you actually have the paperwork with you. Is that a problem in our industry? How many of you have been to a business briefing where someone says, hey, do you have a membership app? That's never happened, right? Have the paperwork there. Be serious about the business. Discuss the support and the team. Tell them once they've come on board, you're going to love this team. We have the best support structure in the entire company. Let them know that support is critical. Edify their soon-to-be sponsor. You're so lucky to be working with this person. This person is committed, heart and soul, mind and heart, whatever. They're really committed to the business, and you're so fortunate to be working with this person. And that's important for them to know that they really are working with someone that is committed. Invite the prospect to come to a special VIP briefing on Thursday night or Tuesday night or whatever. Get them over there. But ladies and gentlemen, those are some helpful things in building for a 2-on-1 event. If you coach your people and teach your people how to do these things, they're very, very simple to do. I promise you, you'll see tremendous success in your prepaid legal business. Jeff, back to you.
All right. I'm going to give you some marching orders because we're learning all this stuff this weekend, but you realize we got to go home and do something come Monday, right?
Right.
How many of you guys committed that you were going to be either the 25 exposures or the 50 exposures? If you did, stand up. Stand up. Stand up. All right. If you refuse to go show a video to somebody that you know within 72 hours, you can sit back down, but otherwise stay standing. If you just absolutely refuse to go do that. All right, let me give you mine. You can write this down when you sit back down if you don't have your notes in front of you. We built an organization with about 3,000 people with this line. You may want to write this down. Dude, you got to see this. And if you don't like that one, Sabola's got one and it works too. But be like, dude, you got to see this. I'm coming over. Use that line within 72 hours of going home. Guys, I'm telling you, you can change your destiny by showing videos. Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much, you guys. I don't think I'm